Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new 2025 BMW M4. This is the xDrive Coupe. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This M4 is finished off in fashion gray. MSRP is just over $97,000. Now this is powered by the 3-liter twin-turbo inline 6-cylinder. It's paired to the 8-speed automatic. It now pumps out 523 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this 3,800-pound sports car from 0 to 60 in as quick as 2.8 seconds. It has a top speed of 174 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city, 22 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.5 inches. Its overall length is 189.1. It has a width of 74.3, a height of 54.9, and its ground clearance measures in at 4.7 inches. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling now, there are some subtle changes for the 25-year model. Up front, you'll notice that the headlight housings still retain that dark housing to them, and everything is LED, of course. We do have a little bit different of a design for the DRLs and the turn signals, as you can see that quick blip that they have to them. Everything else is pretty much the same. We have the double kidney grille design with bodywork in the middle, forward-facing camera. There's also some sensors, and then all of these cutouts to provide a lot of cooling to all the components up front. There's also gloss black for the bumper end caps, and then really nice aggressive edges running throughout the rest of that bumper, including the lines that go off of the grille into the hood there. I think it works very nicely, gives it a great front end presence. Now, as we work our way to the side, this does have a staggered setup for the wheels. They're 19 by 9.5 up front, 20 by 10.5 in the rear. Finished off in gloss black. There's also the massive red M Sport brake calipers. And then there's more gloss black running down the side, so it matches with that front bumper corner. It's on the lower side skirt. It's also on the M4 Competition badge. It's on the power folding side mirrors, which also have a turn signal and the camera, and it's surrounding the entire window trim. Now, all of the M4 Competitions come with the carbon fiber roof, so that gives it a lower center of gravity and just that extra cool factor. There's also some really neat fins in it, along with the normal fin right in the middle there. And then as we take a step back, I think it has a good looking side design to it with some subtle lines that run down the side, and then just giving it that coupe design overall. Now in back, this does have a gloss black trunk mounted spoiler. There's the backup camera, which is integrated into the BMW badge there. This also does have a new design for these LED taillights. You'll notice these laser fiber bundles that run throughout it. Everything is LED, of course. There's parking sensors in the lower section, more gloss black, as well as the quad tip dual exhaust, which we can take a listen to because this does have remote start. And then you can triple tap on that to shut it off as needed. You can also use the button on the key fob or the one up underneath to gain access to the cargo space. So we have a power operated trunk lid for this M4, and you also have a good bit of space. This is going to be someone's daily driver. You have a small compartment on the left side. There's also one hidden over on this right side there. And you can even fold down the back seats. So pull those tabs on both sides. That gives you a lot more interior space and practicality for this vehicle, which is very nice because you can get all of this performance in a daily driver. Now, as we work our way to the interior, you just heard it lock, so just grab the door handle to unlock it, of course. And then this model has the Fiona red leather interior, perfect combo with this fashion gray. So there's the two-tone design on the door panel. This has the Harman Kardon sound system. There's brushed aluminum, your side mirror adjustments, window controls, memory seating, and then storage and that trunk release. M4 is also down on the door sill, and then there's the two-tone design for these seats. These are power operating. All of those controls are down on the side, with the one exception for the manual adjustment for the leg support. Now, what's really nice about these seats is that once you push that backrest forwards, the seat is going to move the rest of the way for you, giving you a lot of space to hop into the back seat here. Where at 5'10", I would say I am pretty comfortable. There's air vents, which is nice, plenty of room for my feet. My head is just up against the headliner, but honestly, if you're not taller than me, this is a perfect place to ride around town and have that extra seat. We have an armrest, a little bit of storage, massive windows to be able to see out, which is great. And then you can even fold down this middle seat individually if you want a little higher armrest, or you have some items that you need to place through and you still need the functionality of these seats. So if you are looking for a practical 4-seater sports car, you have plenty of space, and then you have all of that cargo space as well. And then this is very easy to get into. It's pretty low, which is nice. And we do have a new design for this steering wheel. So it's solid leather. There's also the flat bottom design to it. Carbon fiber accent, which is nice to see. Let's fire this back up though and take a listen to how the M4 sounds. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you'll notice for the current layout, there's fuel and miles per hour on the left side, engine temperature and tach are on the right side. Now you can use this control right in the middle to go through some more information. There's also volume and tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands. But if I push on that control, now we have content that we can scroll through. So you can go through all of this, just depending on what you would like to see. You have your TPMS, there's also the different driving modes, so this is how the vehicle is currently set up. You can even pull up the navigation, and then you have your compass there, and a few other vitals. You can also go into the head-up display, where you can go through a few more, just depending on what you'd like to see, as far as reduced or showing the compass as well as your RPM. And then over on this left side, you have your cruise control settings. And then on the far left, you have a little bit of storage down below. You have all of your headlight adjustments. There's one air vent with the new design for that control. And then looking at the infotainment system, you have quite a lot to go through. So on the home screen, you can scroll through all of these widgets. You can even add some and rearrange them depending on what you use the most. And then we have presets on that left side to further get through this. Where there's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you have your exterior lighting. You can also use the control down below to further go through that. And then you have shortcuts for your music. You can get into your phone as well, and then pull up the nav in full screen. Now the climates are right in the middle, so you can quickly get into those, along with the heated and ventilated seats and the heated steering wheel as well. There's more carbon fiber underneath that. We have air vents in the middle, along with power and volume. You have tuning, as well as some defrosters. Underneath this carbon fiber lid, there's 2 cup holders, along with auxiliaries and wireless charging. And then you do have these shortcuts for that infotainment system. So like I said, you don't have to use it as a touchscreen system. You can use all of these controls down below. Now in order to put this into reverse, we'll simply put the shifter in that position, where you have the 360 view, as well as that top-down view, and you can go around the entire vehicle. So you have no shortage of visibility. There's drive, also the sport mode, so you can shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters. And then park is located on the back side. There's also adjustments for the transmission, so you can adjust how slow or quickly you would like that to shift. Now there's traction control, along with a shortcut to the camera system, so that will pull up your forward camera. There's also the parking sensors, engine start stop. And then if you push on M mode, this is how you can actually change the gauge cluster. So let's go to sport mode, where now we have a different view. We have settings on the left side, vitals on the right. It will also show up with the RPM on the head-up display. So this is all of your performance information. If you click on setup, this is how you can go into M1 and M2. So you can configure these and have the presets all ready to go between your efficiency as well as Sport Plus. So you have those shortcuts ready. And then behind that, we have the exhaust note, auto hold, and the e-brake. A little bit of storage in the armrest, as well as plenty of storage in the glove box there. There's also the garage door buttons with the rear view mirror. You also have some dome lights too. And then here's a look at visibility from the driver's seat. You have a lot of glass, so it's very easy to see in both directions. And now let's go ahead and get this out on the road. As we set off now behind the wheel for this M4 Competition, I've been able to drive a few so far. All have been a different spec, which has been nice to see. I have yet to drive the manual transmission M4 though. That I am really excited to test out. But even with this automatic here, I've said in previous videos, you're basically buying multiple personalities with this M4. Because of the adjustments that you can make, you can cater the driving to how you feel you want to drive for the day, which just gives you that added fun factor, I think, if you choose to go with the automatic. Now, if you go with the manual transmission, you can't get the all-wheel drive, so it will be a rear-wheel drive vehicle. If you want the all-wheel drive, you will have to go with the automatic. So again, just depends on what your preference is, what you're looking to get out of the vehicle. And as we give it an acceleration around this turn, it definitely has plenty of power. We were able to take an M4 to the mountains to really test its performance. And for the money, you are getting a very performance-oriented vehicle. This is something that is basically, once you go through the break-in period, you can take it to the mountains, you can take it to the track. This is a vehicle that is going to be extremely capable of performance driving like that. And then you also get a luxury style sports car that is good for daily driving. This is something that you can drive every single day with the amount of space that it has. It makes it much more practical, but it's also a BMW. So it's going to give you that well-refined driving experience. And aside from that exhaust, which you can shut off if you want it to be a little bit quieter, this is a very nice, comfortable ride. Even that large truck passing, you really can't hear it. So there's no road noise, wind noise. It's a BMW, so that's what you would expect with a vehicle like this. Seats are also very comfortable too. I believe that you can still spec this with the carbon fiber seats, which is a $4,000 option or so. I haven't been able to see that yet in the newer models, but the model that we had for a week had those seats. By far, one of the best seats that I would get. These are extremely comfortable as well if you want the ease of getting in and out to be a little bit better. But if you are looking for more performance, you can get the upgraded seats, which are a little bit harder to get in and out of, but they are just as comfortable, I would think, or I should say, as these seats here. And it's nice that we have all the driving modes too. It's just, it gives you a lot for the money. And those shifts are so smooth as well. So as we come up to another right turn, the handling is very direct as well. I like this new steering wheel design. I do wish it's a little bit smaller, but we got the flat bottom design, which not only makes it easier to get in and out of, but it gives you more of that cool factor for the type of vehicle that this is. But the steering is super direct. And we're still in sport mode, second gear. Here we go. Now, I'm not sure if you were able to tell from the camera angle, but I did have a little bit of a jerk in that shift, but that is the drama that you are going to get when you have it in the quickest shifting setting. If you put it down into setting 1, this is where it's going to get a little bit more laid back and smooth. So it's not jerky in a bad transmission shifting kind of way. It just gives you that extra drama, which I think is nice. But if you just want to drive normal, we will put it into setting 1 here. We'll do another acceleration. And they are much smoother in that lowest setting, which is also more beneficial for daily driving. You don't want kind of a jerky or a lurching vehicle in those settings. But when you are doing some performance driving, it gives you that added character. And it's a nice blend between the daily driving and being able to have the performance driving. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the BMW M4. I've said this in multiple videos, the ones that I've been able to drive so far. This is a vehicle that I would personally buy. I think I would go with the manual transmission, but this is just a nice place to be. For the money, comment down below, what would you buy in place of this M4 for about $100,000? You can get into an M4 for much less, but let's just go with the model we're in today. Right at 6 figures, what other vehicle would you buy that has the performance, the practicality, and just the luxury vibes? I can't really think of too many. You might have some AMGs from Mercedes. Nissan GT-R is going to be a lot more expensive unless you buy a used one. So it's kind of in its own class. And just a really well-rounded vehicle. So make sure you check out the video where we took one to the mountains to really see more performance style driving with this car. Today we're just doing more daily driving with it. But honestly, from the ones that I've been able to drive and the one that we had for a week, I don't really have any complaints with this vehicle as far as how it drives and just what you were getting for your only vehicle. This could be your only vehicle and you just get a great blend of everything that this BMW has to offer. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW M4. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this sports car for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.